It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update, as Logan Paul is set to appear on next week's WWE Smackdown. And we're going to take a look at that later on in the video, but first, on a recent Ring of Honor show, internet sensation Danhausen showcased his new move, the Neville, which is a GTS with a different name. Danhausen thanked CM Punk on Twitter for allowing him to use the move before Punk replied, "You might want to buzz the other guy because he seems sensitive about it." Fully endorsed over here though. The other guy, of course, refers to the creator of the move KENTA, who responded to Punk by saying, "This is the other guy. I'm super excited to see anyone use the go to sleep except for you. Good night." This interaction is no doubt tongue-in-cheek, but who wouldn't want to see the battle of the GTSs somewhere down the line? KENTA, who now works for New Japan Pro Wrestling, has never gone one-on-one with Punk, but as great as it would be, let's not go down the CM Punk returning to wrestling rabbit hole again. Bandido, who currently works for Ring of Honor and CMLL, is widely considered to be one of the best luchadors in the world today. In late 2018, he turned down the opportunity to work with a bigger promotion, having offers from AEW and WWE on the table at the time. Bandido recently spoke with Sports Illustrated, where he discussed his decision to stay with Ring of Honor, as well as what his future may hold once his current Ring of Honor deal ends. He said, "The fact that I have not reached the highest of the company is the reason I stayed. I want to have the heavyweight championship around my waist. I want my shot at Roosh. My present is in Ring of Honor, but of course I would love to work in All Elite Wrestling someday. I will always remember All In. Most of all, sharing a dressing room and the same corner with Rey Mysterio. That was a dream come true." Bandido also spoke of his desire to work with New Japan Pro Wrestling, stating, "New Japan Pro Wrestling is a destination. I would love to have matches in New Japan. If it is facing a wrestling legend like Hiroshi Tanahashi, then that would be even better." Bandido would be a great addition to any roster in the world, and it will be exciting to see where he goes once his current contract expires. On last night's episode of SmackDown, it was confirmed that YouTube megastar Logan Paul will be appearing on the show next week as Sami Zayn's special guest on the red carpet premiere of the trailer for his documentary. Over the past few months, Sami Zayn has hired his own team to film a documentary which covers the WWE's conspiracy against him. The seeds were planted 2 weeks ago when Sami Zayn told Kevin Owens that his documentary would do, quote, Logan Paul numbers, to which Logan responded on Twitter saying, "We'll see." This led to a series of tweets between the two, with Logan supporting Sami's claims of a conspiracy against him. This will likely lead to Logan Paul being added to the Sami Zayn vs Kevin Owens match at WrestleMania in 2 weeks' time, perhaps in a special guest referee capacity or something similar. WWE working with Logan doesn't come as too much of a surprise, especially considering they have recently been working with popular musician Bad Bunny in order to draw more eyes to the product in order to create new fans. Logan Paul has been open about his WWE fandom in the past, having hosted WWE superstar The Miz on his Impulsive podcast, as well as vlogging his experience at a WWE show 3 years ago. He's even worked on the film Baywatch alongside The Rock in the past, although his scene was cut from the original release. And if you're not familiar, Logan Paul, not to be confused with his brother Jake, rose to fame on the Vine social media platform in 2013, creating short comedy videos alongside his friends and younger sibling. This fame led to the rise of his YouTube channel, where he would post daily vlogs documenting his day-to-day life. Following vlogs, diss tracks, and everything else in between, in December of 2017, controversy struck following a visit to Japan. In his 3-part Tokyo Adventure series, Paul and his friends visited the Sea of Trees at the foot of Mount Fuji, apology, which is more commonly known as the Suicide Forest. In a now deleted video, Logan and his entourage went into the forest with the intention of camping there for the night, and they filmed corpses hanging from trees, with the video receiving widespread criticism across the entire YouTube platform as well as on mainstream media outlets. This forced him to delete the video and issue an apology video. It seemed like the controversy would be the end of his career, however he was offered a lifeline 3 months later, as while this was all going on, 2 English YouTubers, Joe Weller and KSI, had sold out the Copper Box Arena in London, set to battle in a boxing match. Following KSI's victory, he famously called out Logan and his brother Jake, with Logan eventually accepting the fight. This set up the biggest YouTube event in history, with KSI taking on the hated Logan Paul in London, England. This wasn't the first controversy in Logan's life, but this boxing opportunity gave him the chance to move away from vlogging as to focus on his boxing skills and to work on his toxic behavior. The two would fight twice over the period of 2 years, with the first bout ending in a draw, with a rematch being scheduled. He eventually lost the second fight via a minority decision, which in a way helped his public image, creating sympathy for him, with many feeling that he deserved the win, although not everyone felt this way. In the years since the controversy, he seems to have shown a new side to his personality, which suggests that he's moved on and became a better person, and comes across as genuinely remorseful for his actions. And before we continue, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you drop a like down below, as it helps me out a lot. And why not subscribe as we head towards 10,000 subscribers. But let's get back to the video. And it seems like he owes KSI quite a lot for calling him out and ultimately saving his career. Logan Paul now hosts a podcast and has gained even more favor by moving to more adult-based content, although he does cover Pokemon cards as well. WWE will have many critics for bringing in more celebrities, but Logan Paul's drawing power cannot be understated. He currently sits at 23 million YouTube subscribers, bringing in millions of views for all of his videos. On top of his YouTube following, the first KSI versus Logan Paul fight drew 1.3 million pay-per-view buys worldwide, which beats every wrestling pay-per-view in history. He is also set to take on one of the biggest money draws in boxing, Floyd Mayweather, with that fight expected to do big numbers, although the date is yet to be confirmed. This move will no doubt bring in a lot of eyes to next week's episode of SmackDown, whether that be through Fox or the YouTube clip that will follow. Not only that, but he's likely to appear at WrestleMania, which will give that a huge boost too. Love him or hate him, bringing in big celebrities has proven to be successful in the past. Take a look at the Attitude Era, which was the most successful period in wrestling history. The thing that really sparked the fire was the appearance of Mike Tyson at WrestleMania, which brought in more eyes to the product, which led to millions more fans seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin, who ended up being the biggest star in wrestling history. It'll be interesting to see where this leads, and it begs the question as to whether Logan will eventually step foot in a WWE ring to compete. With him being based in California and the Performance Center being in Florida on the other side of the country, it would take a lot of commitment on Logan Paul's behalf in order to train for the WWE. There's a chance that he could find a school in California, but I think WWE would prefer to have him based in Florida in order to receive the direct WWE training. I think him being a full-time competitor is out of the question, but he could well have a few matches in the future. I'd say that's quite likely at this point. But let me know what you think of WWE's latest acquisition in the comments down below.